Hello. All right. So today I'll be going over all the movies, all 60 movies that, or I think it's 62, all 62 movies that I watched in 2025 and giving some minor commentary on each and every one. So first off, here's my new website that I just deployed. Let's go to Media Log. There's a random video poll of the day. It generates a new video every day. And it's your idol from K-pop Demon Hunters, whatever. It pulls from this playlist that I'll go to my Letterboxd. What? Alright, we're on Letterboxd. Here's my top 4. Before Sunset, directed by Richard Linklater, 1995. Crazy Stupid Love. I don't know who directed it. Glenn Ficarra and John Requa, 2011, starring incredible ensemble cast. Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, Julianne Moore, Emma Stone. Marissa Tomei's in this, I forgot. And Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon's also in this. That's kind of funny. Anyway, Challengers, Luca Guadagnino, 2025, Zendaya, Mike Feist, Josh O'Connor. Fallen Angels, Wong Kar-wai. Fallen Angels is kind of just there for vibes. The movie is not that great, but I use it on the mood board for everything because it's visually stunning. But it kind of switches in and out between Monster, Hirokazu Koreeda, and Left-Handed Girl, which is a recent watch that's on Netflix right now. It's produced by Sean Baker, and it's directed by, who's it directed by? So Cheng. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go to my diary. All the movies that I watched since last year, sort by watch date, go by earliest first. Okay, I officially started counting here. So I kind of cheat and I officially start counting from December 17th, which was when my winter break started. So Anora, fantastic. Got me into Sean Baker stuff. I think it's his best work at the moment, but you know, kind of swaps in and out. A Complete Unknown, Timothée Chalamet was great. I watched it in a humongous AMC with really loud sound system. So with a really loud sound system with my dad, so that was a vibe. Shiva Baby, that's like really solid. Rachel Sennett. Babygirl, wasn't a big fan of it, but kind of cool. It was pretty good. Beau Travail, was not a fan of Beau Travail, but I think it was just because I wasn't ready for something that was so, what's the word? Brainy, that was really cerebral. The Brutalist, loved it. It was really long, and I kind of liked how it was sort of, I like that there was an intermission in the theater. The Last Showgirl, pretty cool. It was a very sweet 90 minutes, for sure. Ocean Waves, not a very good movie, but it has vibes, and I love movies with good vibes. I kind of remember just being reclined on my mattress and watching it during a really stormy night out, and it was just vibes. I loved it. Mulholland Drive, had to educate myself on the David Lynch catalog when he passed away, so had to do that classic. Marry My Dead Body, really good Taiwanese movie off of Netflix. That's Greg Shu and Austin Lin. Fallen Angels, unfortunately, Wong Kar-wai, kind of an annoying guy and a bit overrated as a director, but Fallen Angels does live up to the hype, at least visually. I think kind of plot-wise, it's kind of whatever. He's kind of, honestly, plot-wise, he's always just doing whatever. He's very much very strong in the visual department. Chungking Express, also, I saw that in Metrograph in New York during my spring break. With my friend, and my dad also happened to be there. It was kind of unplanned. Love and Pop, very interesting movie. I kind of wish there was more love and pop. It was kind of very disturbing, actually. Mickey 17, pretty cool. It was nice. Bong Joon-ho is really funny. But the kind of whole antagonist that they were dealing with was not that intimidating or exciting, honestly. The Boy and the Heron, a little bit of a mess, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it. Ghibli stuff is always really beautiful anyway. High Fidelity, pretty cool, a product of its time. I remember seeing it with my friend who also was kind of in the mood for that 2000s, very, very specific 2000s vibe. So it was a vibe. One of them days, I've been really wanting to watch this. By the time I watched it, I was putting it off for a bit. But yeah, SZA and Keke Palmer chemistry is just incredible. Sinners, had to watch Sinners. It was okay. It was, yeah, I mean, I thought the vampires are kind of ridiculous. It was kind of weird. Not the biggest fan, but pretty good still. Jerry Maguire is one of my favorite movies. I think, I don't know, probably not a hot take because it's a very, very highly regarded movie in general among the masses, especially of the time. It was a movie that was kind of made for everyone, and I really love things that are kind of made for everyone. It was like 3-4 movies in one, and honestly it appealed to me on all those levels. Last scene is an Apple ad that I just that Hirokazu Koreeda did for Apple. I think it was for the new iPhone camera or whatever, or the new as of last year. It's a short film. I just put it in here because I gave it a 5 stars. I love his work, and that was I love that short film. But technically should not be there. The Devil Wears Prada, classic. Love The Devil Wears Prada. Anne Hathaway is fantastic. Notting Hill, classic. Loved it. The Aviator's Wife. Okay, so this got me into Eric Rohmer. Very, very into Eric Rohmer. And Aviator's Wife, I watched that in London in the Prince Charles. Definitely an experience. The Phoenician Scheme, also watched that one in London. I'm not the biggest fan of Wes Anderson, and this was not the best Wes Anderson movie, so kind of not great, but Wes Anderson stuff is really beautiful to look at, so I love when things are beautiful. In the Mood for Love, also watched this at the Prince Charles, a completely packed out Prince Charles. Yeah, it's very operatic and cinematic seeing it in a theater like that. So highly recommend seeing the Wong Kar-wais in kind of art house theaters, because I think those are probably the best way to experience them. Past Lives, Celine's song, pretty good. I was not the biggest fan, but I think it's pretty good. Blue Period, I watched that on the plane. It's a live action Blue Period. I liked it. It was interesting. A Real Pain, Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin. This one's good. It's good. It's really, really lo-fi, low budget. I think it looks really low budget. Fun time. Very good chemistry between two guys. 2046, Wong Kar-wai, watched this on Tubi, at the airport. I really loved it, even though it's very kind of, I feel like it's very gaudy. It's not, it seems kind of like a tasteless rendition from Wong Kar-wai, but I was into it. It was also very stunning and very beautiful, but it's kind of Wong Kar-wai doing the most, I think. The Grandmaster, also Wong Kar-wai. I think this was a lot better. It's kind of, this one was made with sort of a Chinese audience in mind, and is a historical film about Ip Man, and I love it. That one is a very kind of serious, and it's a genuinely good Wong Kar-wai. It's not kind of I think it was very highly regarded at the time. Crazy Stupid Love, again. Oh wait, no, I already talked about Crazy Stupid Love earlier, but I rewatched it this time. One of my favorite movies. Looks beautiful. one of the most incredible twists ever. Daughter of the Nile, Ho Xiaoxian. I remember seeing Millennium Mambo in Taiwan in a theater with my parents, and I thought it was a pretty nice vibe. Decided to get into kind of the Taiwanese new wave stuff properly last year. So yeah, that's the daughter of the Nile. Pretty good. Didi, Sean Wang. I thought it was okay. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good though. Fallen Angels again, whatever. Shoplifters, Hirokazu Koreeda, one of my favorite directors. This one was fantastic. I love Shoplifters. Happy Together, which completes my essential Wong Kar-wai watchings in theaters last year. I watched that in Chinatown in San Francisco at the 5-star theater. Loved it. I think it's probably my favorite after Fallen Angels. The Player, who did this? I forgot the director, but The Player is a classic. Really good. Love it. American Psycho, really good. Conveys the Brady Easton Ellis tone really well without being overly annoying. A Summer's Tale, Eric Romer, really good again. Love the ending. Boyhood, Richard Linklater, also one of my... Well, he's not my favorite director, but the Before series, or the Before trilogy is one of my favorite film franchises. And then I had to watch Before Sunrise right after that to kind of get my dose of Linklater. Under the Big Onions, a Japanese movie. It's pretty good. Not great. Watched it on the plane, but not bad either. Honey Don't. Margaret Qualley looks fantastic in it. Very entertaining. Whisper of the Heart. Country Roads is kind of an annoying song, so I couldn't properly enjoy it, but the animation looked great. Boyfriends and Girlfriends is my favorite Romer. Beautiful colors, beautiful outfits. It's really kind of my vibe because I really like solid, bold colors. And again, classic Romer ending that's just awesome. Eleanor the Great. I wish this movie was better because the premise was so good. But, you know, James Squibb was fantastic. Tokyo Story. I watched this at Metrograph with my dad. I loved it. It was kind of like sitting through an Ozu film felt like a victory for me because I could not do that when I was younger. After the Hunt, Luca Guadagnino, easily his worst film. But it's Luca. I always enjoy Luca's work, so it gets kind of some points from me just because it's Luca. And One Battle After Another, fantastic film. It was long but didn't feel long. It felt like a full meal. And I also love Thomas Pynchon. Edward Yang, kind of back into the Taiwanese new wave stuff. It looked good. I wish I liked it more. But yeah, Edward Yang does... I like his stuff more than Ho Xiaoxian, I'm not gonna lie. But is also, like, not my favorite Edward Yang. Urchin, really cool work from Harris Dickinson. Can't wait to see more from him. Blue Moon, I love this movie. New Linklater, Ethan Hawke's best performance ever. It really showcased, I guess, his theater training. It was like a play almost. I mean, it was basically a play on a screen. The set barely changed. And he basically carries the entire film. And I had to watch Before Sunset again after that. Every Linklater I have to kind of refresh with one of the classics from the Before trilogy. Before Sunset is one of my favorite movies ever. Die My Love, Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson were absolutely incredible in this. And it looked great too. Love this movie. Materialist, Celine Song. I thought it was sort of like you took a rom-com and then stripped everything interesting out of it, and it almost felt experimental and avant-garde in that way. So I thought it was interesting on that basis. Red Rocket, Sean Baker. Anora's better. I did like the colors in Red Rocket a lot more. The cinematography is pretty nice. And yeah, Sean Baker is just a great visual artist. So the plot was kind of whatever, but visually it looked great. I think Anora was more solid all around though. Rental Family, I was not a huge fan of this Kar-wai film. Brendan Fraser was all right in it. He was pretty good, I guess, but was not the biggest fan of this visually nor plot-wise. Sentimental value, this movie I wished I liked more. I think I will need to give it a retry, but I wasn't expecting it to be sort of so slow, and I think I was really tired at the time, so I was kind of dozing in and out. Left-Handed Girl, one of my favorite films, produced by Sean Baker, directed by Cheng, and it's shot entirely on iPhone. It looks great. I love the cinematography in this. So, and probably one of my favorite movies ever at this point. I keep on going back to it to reference for visual stuff that I do. The Wedding Banquet, 1993. Also a really, really fantastic rom-com. I love it. It's yeah, it's really, really entertaining, very solid all around. I think the movies from kind of the 1993 to 96 are really fantastically made. Or I guess like more 1998, 97, whatever. Kind of that period in the 90s, that like kind of mid to late 90s. Alrighty, let's go to the last page. Okay, fine. There we go. Now we're on December. Parasite, Bong Joon-ho. Really, really solid film. I mean, as you know, as many people are aware, script is fantastic. He's really funny, and it looks great. So all of it. Hamnet, a very Obama era is how I view Hamnet. But regardless, it's fantastically made and acting is great. Yeah, it's a pretty solid film. I mean, it's not terribly entertaining, but it's a really good film. Home Alone, I don't like Home Alone, but I was getting in the holiday spirit. Score is fantastic, and it looks great too. So yeah, Home Alone. No Other Choice. I need to rewatch No Other Choice because I got really bad seats at the AMC Metreon in San Francisco. It was basically right above me, and the entire thing was warped. It looked good though, but I couldn't really see. So I want to go back on Friday to kind of, because I think it's playing at the Manor in Pittsburgh on Friday. So I want to go back and watch it properly. But from what I saw from my really bad seat at the Metreon, it was really fantastic. And Cruel Intentions, I watched that on Christmas, no, not Christmas, on New Year's Eve with my dad and my brother, instead of going to this New Year's Eve party, since it was storming and the commute was going to be an hour and a half, and I was just not feeling it. So Cruel Intentions, oh, and I loved it. It's so good. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite movies, but definitely a really good movie. Okay, and now we're into the new year, so this is, we're in January 2026 now. I'm just gonna do these since there's only 5. Marty Supreme. I think it's a bit overhyped, but it's a really, on a technical level, it's not overhyped, but kind of, I guess, in content-wise, it's a bit, there's a bit too much in there, and I think it's everyone that I've gone with to see Marty Supreme actually did not like it. So I think it's a very film bro-y movie. So like all the film bros really love Marty Supreme, and seeing it from that lens, I really appreciate it. But seeing it from the eyes of someone that's not kind of in that headspace, in that community, there's a little too much going on. It's a little bit messy. There's too much yelling, and the acting is very kind of one-dimensional. I guess it can, or the acting can feel kind of one-dimensional, I guess, for an average viewer, since it's just yelling and he isn't really doing very much else. He's just playing the one thing. Stranger Things 5, the finale. I give it its points because it's one of the rare occasions where a TV show kind of plays out an entire arc from beginning to end and actually ended landing on its feet. So I appreciate it from that perspective. And honestly, like the Duffer Brothers, you can feel the passion through the screen. So I love that they have so much love for this series that they created. So Stranger Things 5, I'll give them points for that, even though it was a little bit, Titanic. I love Titanic. That's a hot take in my family because everyone in my family hates Titanic. It is too long, which is true, but they put so much money into it, they might as well, it's Titanic. And the acting is also very one-dimensional. My dad said something that was very resonant to me, that it was sort of like a VR experience of sorts, or like kind of the entire thing was sort of like gaming cutscenes, where it's like you're in the Titanic and it's like an immersive experience of sorts. Sure. I mean, that's what it felt like. Uncut Gems, not bad. I had to watch Uncut Gems on the plane after seeing Marty Supreme. Freaky Friday, also watched that on the plane, and love Lindsay Lohan. Jimmy Lee Curtis is also really funny in that. Basically, it was very peak Disney movie. And that's it. That's all I have for you. Hopefully that was coherent. Now I need to go and do stuff. Bye-bye.